Hi everyone, my name is Jeshin and I'm going to walk you through OBS Studio. The entire video is divided into small 10 different videos with different topics. This video is all about the table of content with the different parts with their particular timestamps. So if you want to jump to any particular video, you can do that. Thank you so much. See you soon. Hello everyone, in this part of the video we are going to understand how can we download OBS on one of our operating system. So you have to go to this link and then select one of the operating system. I'm working on Windows, so I clicked on this and then on this. After that I got an extension which I double click and then click on yes and then click on next, next. Yeah, this is where I want to, if you want to store somewhere else you can do it, doesn't matter. Then it will take some time to extract the files. Finish and it will launch OBS automatically. Perfect. OBS has been launched. So I won't be streaming, so I just said that I'll be using only the virtual camera. Then click on next, apply settings, and hopefully this is the screen that you're going to see. So this is very easy to install. In the next video, I'll explain you the different interface items of our OBS. What does scenes mean? What are sources? What is the use of audio mixer, scene transition, and the control toolbar. So I hope you got it easily. Thank you. See you soon in the next part. Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we are going to talk about the interface of OBS. So we'll just go through an overview. As in the previous video, we talked about how to install OBS on our laptops. In this video, I'll explain the interface and share little tips and tricks. Once OBS is open, you will hopefully see exactly this. The very first thing I recommend you to do is click on the studio mode, which is under the control section. What this does is it shows you a preview of everything that you have got going on, and on the right is a program window, which is the end result. It is what the viewer is going to see if you're using it as a webcam or whether you are actually recording something. The very first thing I want to say is everything is clickable and draggable, and you can customize your OBS exactly how you want it. So for example, I want to place my sources here and scenes on the right side, or I want to mix my scene transitions with audio mixer. I can totally do that. But at some point of time, if I think that no, the previous interface was so much easier and accessible, there is nothing to worry about. I can go to the view and click on docs and reset my UI. But if I'm afraid that in the future I'm going to make a mess out of my interface because I'm dragging or clicking everything, there is also a loop. I can click on view again, go to docs and lock my UI. Now I cannot drop and drag anything. So let's talk about scenes, which are the main life of your OBS, which is the main reason we are in OBS actually. So imagine that you are a film director and you have several scenes that you want to go through. On these scenes, you want to put things and objects. In there, that's where sources comes. So sources are the things that are in the scenes. On the bottoms of the scene, you can see there is a plus sign that is to add a scene, a minus sign which is to subtract or remove a scene, and up and down which we'll talk about when we have more than one scene. Otherwise, there is no sense of it. So basically in scenes, you are going to define or differentiate different scenarios. For example, you are taking a lecture. So in the first part, you want to see or interact with your students face to face. But after you're done with it, you want to shift to a PowerPoint presentation or you want to shift to Blackboard. So you can do that by adding a scene here, naming it as Blackboard. So you are able to reference it and also it will help you to understand what's your next step. We are going to talk about this, how to add scenes in more depth and how to name them. But for now, just remember it that it is going to be different scenarios. So, and in this bottom of the sources also, we have a plus sign to add sources, a subtract sign to remove sources, a property to handle the property of our sources, up and down to handle the sources. Now, up and down is very important in sources section, unlike the scene. So when we use up and down arrow, it means which source will be on the top of what. For example, I want myself to be on the top of my background so that my background doesn't hide me. If I'm talking about background, that means a picture or color, not my actual background where I'm sitting. So if you're just using OBS as a virtual webcam, then audio mixer does not really matter. But if you're recording your screen or streaming, then you might want to take a look at the audio settings. But we don't need to worry about that. Now, in the studio mode, we have scene transition, as you can see in the middle. But here also at the right side of the audio mixer, we have a scene transition. So this is a bit redundant. But if you are not in your studio mode, this is something which is very important. Alright, so in the control tab, you'll see you have start streaming, start recording, start virtual camera, which we are going to talk about a lot in our upcoming videos, and studio mode that we already thought preview and program, a settings option and an exit option. So this is all about the interface of OBS. Now in the next part of this video, we are going to talk about how we can add scenes and how we can add sources. So this is all about this portion. So I hope to see you in the next portion. Bye bye. Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we are going to talk about scenes and sources. In the previous part, we talked about the overview of the OBS interface. Let us set up our first scene. We already have a default scene here just called scene, and we could add a new one or we could just use this one. But let us add a new one and we will call it, doesn't matter what we call it actually. Anything you rename here in OBS is just so you can identify it yourself later. So the name of things doesn't change anything. It is just for your reference. So to add a scene, you can click on the plus sign here and then name it anything. For example, I want to name it as live and click on OK. Now we were talking about these two buttons in the previous video and I said that there is nothing to move up and down, but here we can do it. Click on the scene that you want to move up. Select it, click on the arrow. Voila, it is done. And if I don't want this scene, the scene, I can just remove it by clicking on the subtract sign and then yes. Or you can also do it with the delete button on your keyboard. So nothing's happening in our preview or in the program because we haven't put any sources in yet. So the first source that I am going to add is going to be my webcam. Now how I can do that? I can click on the plus sign, go to video capture device. Now here are two options, create new, add existing. We don't have any existing source, so I'm just going to rename it. Just remember, renaming it very important so that you can reference things. It is just your playground, so play it according to your rules. I'll name it as my cam and then click on OK. Hey, I'm here. So it has by default chosen the camera of my computer and I can just click on OK. See, the very first thing that clicks my mind is I'm confined to a corner, which should not be the reason and should not be the possibility. Now what I can do it, I can improve it, I can increase the size. How? I can right click on my source and then click on properties. Here I have the option of resolution I can click on the drop down and choose custom. Now it can give me the option of making changes. So the resolution of my camera is this, the highest one. And I also want to make changes to the FPS. I'll keep it as 30. You can also keep the highest FPS, depends on what is your reason of using OBS. But just for the sake of giving a lecture, 30 is the best. Click on OK. Okay, here I am. I'm not confined to a corner anymore, but I don't see anything happening in the program section. So to make the transition from the preview to the program window so that my users or viewers can see it, I have to click on fade. Here I am in the program window. So to transition from preview to program, this is your tool. If I want to hide myself, I have to click fade to back. It will make me disappear. Again fade. So here 300 ms means time which the rate at which you'll disappear or appear. I can increase it or decrease it, but for the sake of convenience and by default it is 300 ms, and that is much better. All right, so what if you don't want your entire background to be seen in your video or while you are giving a lecture? You cannot do this. It will just resize it. So to crop yourself, to crop your video, what you can do is click on the Alt key on your keyboard and then use this. Now I'm able to crop myself very easily. Now here I want to talk about something which is a very minute detail and doesn't matter if you don't notice it. But you see, when all these three borders are green and this one is red. Why? Because this is the capacity. It is at highest capacity to crop. I can do this and it will turn red. And if I want to say in the green zone that I have the option to crop myself more, it will always stay in green. I want to myself be in corner, so when I'm giving a lecture, I'm not the center of attention. And I want to see all of this in the program section. I'll click on fade. So this is very easy, but first of all, make changes in the preview window, what you want and what you don't want, and then go to the program section. The preview window is your experiment area. In the next video, we are going to talk about how to add more than one scene. Remember, we had two scenes, live and scene. So instead of live is going to be there, another one in which you can transition very easily. You can add your blackboard or you can add any background or color. So we are going to talk about that, how we can add a background image, add a color in our next video. And also we are going to talk about what is this eye and what is this lock. So we are also going to add more than one sources, more than one scene. And yeah, this is what is our agenda for the next portion. So I hope this was clear to you. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Hi, welcome back everyone. So in this part of the video, we are going to talk about how to add more than one scene and how to add more than one sources. So in the previous part of the video, we just talked about one scene and one source, live and my cam. We also learn how to increase the resolution of your camera so that your picture covers half of the screen in the previous section, how we can keep the FPS as 30, how we can crop the video. So we use Alt and the arrow or our mouse. So let's try to add more than one scene. So to add a scene, what we can do is click on the plus sign and rename it. So remember one thing, renaming is just for your convenience. If you want to change your transition to a blackboard, so you should write it as blackboard. Or if you want to give your focus to PowerPoint, you have to write PowerPoint. So it should be able to reference yourself, not for any other purposes. So maybe I just want to add it as cinema and click on OK. Now the preview window here is black and this program window is from the previous scene, that is a live. And you know how to add the source. Click on the plus sign in the source tab. Here we know we have to go to video capture device. Now here is the difference. We already have a source, that is my camera. I don't need to add a new one unless if you have another camera that you want to transition to. I'll click on add existing, then select my cam and then click on OK. Here I am. But again, don't want to cover the entire screen. I want to crop myself. So I'll do that. Click on the Alt key and start cropping yourself. Yeah, that's enough. I'll bring myself here. So I'm making this box a little bit bigger so that you can see the difference when I transition. So click, let's do a nice fade. Yeah, I'm here. So I transition from my cinema to live, and yeah, this is what will happen. So let's go, we are in cinema right now. Now what I want to do is, maybe I want to have a nice background at my screen. I can simply open any folder that I have pictures in. I have in my download folder. Now let's minimize it and put it here. Very easy way. Just drag and drop. Perfect. Now let it cover. You remember in the first video I told you that this part in the source, the up and down arrow, is very important. My picture is not being displayed in the source in the previous section. Just select the source that you want to come at the front and then click on the up arrow. Here I am, and I have a very pretty background. So maybe I just want to resize it and I don't want it to cover the screen. Perfect. Now, one more important thing. What if I want to have a color background, and then when we have everything set, then only we will transition. I want to have a colored background other than black. What I can do, click on the plus sign here and click on color source. Maybe I'll name it as background. Okay, and then click on OK. Window will pop up, that is for the properties of your background. I don't have any option for the color, so I'll click on select color so that I can get a variety. Okay, so here are different colors and you can even choose their tone. I will go with this and I'll make it a bit darker, which will suit my background also. Click on OK. Now everything is covered. Again, we know the trick for this. And so first is my camera, below that is my background, and below everything is the color. So now we have to do a very smooth transition to the program window so my viewer can see what I did or what I'm presenting them. Click on fade. Voila. Okay, and we have a transition from our cinema to live to cinema. Now, don't you think that it is very hectic to do this again and again, go back from here to there? So to make it very smooth and not take much of your time, you can come out of your studio mode, and now I'm in my cinema mode, and this is my live, which is my first scene, which will be visible to the viewer if I want to make them see just myself and nothing else. And then if I want, I'm done with the interaction now, I want to give my background a beautiful scene with a beautiful color, I can do that. Perfect. Now for the sake of this video, we should come to the studio mode because we are still in making changes. As I mentioned in the previous part of the video, that let us talk about this lock screen and the locks and the eyes. Now, what does this eye do? It will hide whatever the source it is. So I'm not in the previous section now. If I click I appear. What is the best use of this? How can we get the best use of these eye icon and the lock icon? For example, I'm taking a quiz of my students and they answer, and I want to cheer them and motivate them. Yay, you did well. I can have this GIF, but I cannot have it all the time. This will distract my students. What I can do, I can use this eye sign and hide it. And for example, my student answered correctly. I say, "Okay, yay, you did well, correct." You can even have a graffiti, everything you want. You can add as many sources as you can, and you can hide them. Once you are satisfied that yes, everything is perfect, everything is at its own place, you can lock it. So then do whatever you want to do. Everything is set. This is your finalized source section. But we are not still finalized because we are learning step by step. So I'll unlock them and make my cam always on the top. Everything will always be on the top. Okay. So this is enough for the scenes and sources for now. We have learned a lot of things. We learned how to add more than one scene, how to add more than one sources, how to add a background image and a background color. How can we toggle or transition smoothly from one scene to another? We learned that trick to come out of the studio mode to help ourselves uh, to get out of the pressure of toggling again and again. So in the next video, we are going to learn how can I cover my green screen. If you have noticed so far that I have a green screen, so how to hide it, how I can be a part of the entire background without being confined to a box and looking out of the zone. So we learned this in the upcoming portion of the video, and in other parts we learn how we can have a different camera, how can we use OBS on Teams and on Collaborate. And yeah, this is a plan for now. Let's move ahead in the next portion. So till then, take care. Bye bye. Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we will talk about how to make a green screen disappear. In the last part, we learned how to add a background image, a background color. But if you notice, I was looking out of the box because I'm not mixing with the background. And it is not important that you have a green screen. You should not worry about it. If you don't have it, you can skip this part of the video. So we'll work with the live scene. And first of all, to make this thing disappear or even to begin with, you have to click on the source, that is my camera. Right click on it, go to the filters option that you see. Minimize this screen and drag it a bit up. Now here we have two options, audio video filters and effect filters. We do not want to work with audio or video filters, so let's work with effect filters. Click on the plus sign, and if you have a green screen, go to chroma key directly. Maybe I'll just rename it to green screen and click on OK. What I used to do is I make smoothness as one and key color spill reduction as one, and then try to play with similarity. So I'll just increase it and check when my green screen disappears. I think this is okay. Click on close. I'm a part of the black screen now. Green screen is nowhere to be found. And if I go into cinema, you see, this is how useful it can be to know how to make the green screen disappear. Now, I'm not looking out. I'm not looking odd and out of the box. I'm a part of my background and the background color and the background image. And everything looks fine. Let's go to the live scene, come out of the studio mode. Maybe this is the first scene my viewers see, and when I switch to cinema, they'll see this. So see, this is so easy. I hope it was very clear to you. In the next part of video, we will learn how to add another source, that is my OBS TinyBot camera. And let's play with it then. So see you in the next part. Bye bye. Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we are going to learn how we can use OBS Virtual Camera as a webcam for Microsoft Teams. So to do that, we have to click on the Start Virtual Camera, which is under the Control section, and then go to our team. I want to have a meeting in this. I'll click on Meet Now, and then it will give me an option what I want. So I already have my OBS camera on, but how did I get here? I'll click on the settings button, and here I have the option of camera. I can select as OBS. If I do HP, I'll get disappeared. See, my screen has been frozen. And if I get to OBS, I'm back. So then everything is perfect. Our cinema scene is not on here. Why? Because in our OBS, we are in the live scene. Open Join Now, and then it will take some time to get you inside the meeting. Let's wait. I think we're entering. Okay, so I don't want to add any participants. I am here. Let me adjust my camera, and let's check if the transition is getting there or not. Minimize it, come out of the studio mode and go to cinema. Yeah, it's working. Is my GIF working? Yes, it's working fine. So everything is under control. See, it's too easy. Leave the meeting. So you see that's so easy to enter OBS virtual camera in Microsoft Teams just by clicking on Start Virtual Camera. Let's stop it for time being. So this was enough for this video. In the next video, we are going to learn how can we use it in Collaborate Ultra. It is just going to be same, so nothing to worry about. So I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we will learn how to use OBS Virtual Camera as a webcam for Collaborate. We did the same thing for Microsoft Teams. So we'll start by clicking on Start Virtual Camera and then go to our Collaborate. Here we see that we don't have any video. Let's click on the Collaborate panel. And then in audio and video settings, please click on Setup Camera and Microphone. My microphone is working. Now let's check with the video test. My OBS virtual camera has been selected, so I can see everything is working fine. I can click on yes, video is working. Let's close this. Turn on the camera and share video. Perfect. So I'm in the corner. So let's check whether my GIF is going to work or not. Yes, it's working fine. So this is the same thing that we did in Microsoft Teams. It is not very difficult or different. So if you understand the Teams thing, you'll also understand the Collaborate version. So let's maximize, and yes, this was how you can use OBS virtual camera for your Microsoft Teams and Collaborate. So in the next video, we are going to talk about how we can use another camera. For example, we are going to use OBS virtual bot, which is able to track our movement. So we learn how to use that in OBS, and we'll also learn how we can present other than live and cinema. Maybe I want to present my PowerPoint, or maybe I want to present any other document or browser. So we learn about that in the upcoming video. So till then, please take care. Bye-bye. Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we are going to learn how to add OBS virtual camera as your virtual webcam for Microsoft Teams. You can also do the same thing for Collaborate. I'm using this small tiny bot and I have loaned it from our help desk. I have not purchased it. So you can go to the Goldberg building and ask for one at the help desk. So it is very useful. It is too fun to use, and we are going to learn how to add it. Perfect. Okay, let's just get started. So, for example, I want to keep my webcam in the live scene and remove it from the cinema so that I can use my tiny bot here. Click on the delete button and remove this one. Click on the plus and go to video capture device. I don't have it in my existing, so I'll just add it here. Click on OK. Perfect. From drop down, select OBS Tiny Bot. Hi. And we know that we always work with custom. Resolution is the highest one. And I always tell you that FPS I keep as 30 because I know that I'm not recording a big video. So I'll just keep it as 30 and then click on OK. Now it is covering most of my screen. And I want to crop the extra green screen. Alt key and then do it. Perfect. Now you know the trick how to remove the green screen. But before that, you see I am stuck here. So you go in the live video and you see my video isn't working. Right click on my cam, go to properties and toggle between the resolution. So if you are in device default, go to custom and then click on OK. See, I started working. I just have to resize this everything. Fade. Perfect. Let's come back to the cinema scene. Okay, so let's remove the green screen. Right click on OBS bot, filters, and plus sign, chroma key, OBS green screen. And as I mentioned in the previous window, I keep smoothness as 1 and key color spill reduction in 1 and then play with similarity. So I think this is okay. Perfect. My green screen is no more there. Now come out of your studio. First go into live mode and come out of your studio mode. So you can toggle very easily. Now to make this thing part of my Microsoft Teams, remember always to start your virtual camera, otherwise it won't work. I have already showed you how to add OBS in Microsoft Teams. So here I am in my live scene. If I'll minimize it, and then I have to really minimize it and then toggle between these two scenes. Yeah, it's working. I just think that I should be up here. Maybe I want to remove the green background, so I can just hide it. It's all working. So see how easy it was to use two different cameras in two different scenes. So you can add multiple sources, Giphy to say, yay, it's working. So this is how easy it is. You don't have to worry more much about it. So yeah, it was useful. In the next video, we will learn how to play with OBS board with some hand gestures. So see you there. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, so in this part of the video, let us try to understand how we can use hand gestures to control our OBS bot. Remember, only to use your right hand. To make the OBS camera track my movement, I'll make a hi-fi sign, and then there is a light which will turn blue from green. So you know that this is working. See, it has started tracking my movement. If I want to stop it, I again will do the same thing. See, it is not tracking me anymore. What if you are in a hybrid session and there are students who are taking classes online and they want to see what is written on the whiteboard? To make yourself zoom, you can do this. And then move out of the frame so the students can see. Perfect. And to zoom out, it takes time sometimes. You have to be patient. So this is how it is done. It is so easy. So I hope it was clear. In the next part of this video, we will learn how to implement everything we have learned so far in a hybrid session. So I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, we are going to implement whatever we have learned so far. So we are going to talk about how we can add PowerPoint in OBS, how we can add a Teams window in OBS. So let us get started. So you can see here, I have renamed my scenes. I have been saying this from the very beginning that keep those names which are relevant to you. So the first scene is the classroom where my students are going to see me and nothing else. That is why I've increased the size of my video also. In the PowerPoint scenes, my students are going to see the PowerPoint presentation at the back. So my video has been resized so that I don't cover or make it much of the distraction. So let us see how we can add a PowerPoint presentation in OBS. So if you see there is a plus sign, click on this and then click on window capture. I don't have any existing, so I'm just going to name it as PPT and click on OK. So here we get two options, Teams and PowerPoint. So I'll click on PowerPoint and then click on OK. So I don't want to have a scene like this. I want to have a presentation mode. First of all, let me make myself visible. Let's go to PowerPoint. I cannot go to presentation mode. No, then I lose all the control. We should not do that. Come out of it. And here, go to slideshow. You'll see setup slideshow option. Click on that. Now there are three options in show type. Click on the second one, that is browsed by an individual. Click on OK. And then click on from beginning. Then you can control your PowerPoint. Please make a note of this that you cannot control the movement of your slides in OBS. You have to come to your PowerPoint to change your slides. This control is not available in OBS. So if you see, I can easily access my taskbar. I can go to my OBS and I can see, yes, I can, if I'm changing the slides, it will appear here also. So just keep a note of this that OBS does not give you the power to change the slides. So you have to go back to PowerPoint. Okay, so this is perfect. I'm not covering much of my background. PowerPoint is there. We know how to add a window capture. Now, in your hybrid session, for example, you have offline students who are in front of you in the class and also students who are in Collaborate or Teams. So you want to have an interactive session. You don't want to leave any half of the students feel left out. So I'm just going to take the example of Microsoft Teams. You can do the same thing for Collaborate Ultra as well. So I have my Microsoft Teams here and I have my 2 students attending. So let's add another window. Click on the plus sign, click on window capture, and I don't have Teams here. So I'm just going to write Teams, click on OK. And here I want to have Microsoft Teams. Perfect. I don't want my students to cover the entire screen. So I'll just minimize it. And I want my camera up. I want my PPT to be up. And then Teams is going to be resized. I accidentally resized, so just give me a moment. Let's resize this and increase the size of this. Perfect. Now everything is okay. Just bring your Teams on the top of PPT and then you can resize it so that you can keep an eye on anything. Amazing. Perfect. So this is how so easy this can be. You just have to do few adjustments and then you're good to go. And remember to create a window in your to your Microsoft Teams so that your OBS is working, you have to turn on your virtual camera. If I go to my Teams, I'll see that there is a later inversion. I think my students are not able to see anything clearly, but that is not the case. Whatever you are seeing in OBS is the same thing that your students are seeing. So I'll ask one of my students that whether they are able to read it or not. Is there any inversion or not? So yes, honey, are you able to see the PowerPoint correctly?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thank you. So my student mentioned that they can see everything correctly and there is no later inversion. So this is how easy it is to have a window for your Microsoft Teams and also add your PowerPoint. Just keep in mind that you cannot have control of changing the slides within OBS. You have to go back to PowerPoint. So I think this was clear to you. We have used everything that we have learned so far in this video. So thank you for being such a wonderful audience. All the best.